Good evening and welcome to this 10-minute tip session. My name is Nikki Shetty and I am an instructional designer here at the college. And tonight or today for this session, I will be talking about wikis and how and what tools are available for you to create wiki, specifically Google sites. So the most well-known wiki of all is Wikipedia. I'm sure many of you are familiar with it. If you have not used it, you probably have students who have tried to use it or who do use it, and you know that it is kind of a crowdsourced type of website. Anybody can go to Wikipedia, they can find an article that they are interested in or a topic that they are interested in, and they can actually edit that page to add additional information. They can remove information, they can add sources, etc. So that is essentially what a wiki is. It's a website that many different people can access and can edit, and you can determine who has access to it and what permissions they have, but it is multiple authors. Some of you might be wondering what the difference is between a wiki and a blog, and so I wanted to cover that quickly. Like I said, a wiki has multiple authors, whereas a blog tends to just have one author, at least for individual posts. A wiki is created, revised, and deleted by all. A blog has an author for one post, and then other people can go and comment. In a wiki, the content is constantly changing. It's never static. Whereas a blog, typically you post a blog you write a post, you upload it to your website, and then the content, that particular content, doesn't change. Then within a wiki you can view a revision history. Since there are many different people editing it or authoring it at all times, it's important to know who has done what and when, whereas with a blog there tends to just have an initial post date. So I'm going to go into some uses for wiki. One use would be a research project. So maybe you want students working on or you give students a specific topic, you give them a case study, you give them something that you want them to dive into deeper. They need to work together to find additional information. They need to be able to pull it together, and then you have them create some kind of end product. You could also have students working on an annotated bibliography together. So if you wanted students, again, working on a specific research topic, and you didn't want each individual student to, say, have to find 10 different sources, students could work on creating that annotated bibliography together, and then they would have the benefit of all having access to those resources and being able to use them. Maybe then you have them work on an individual paper or project, but they can all use some of the same resources that they helped each other find. You can also have students create a glossary of terms, or as I have up here pictured is a mind map where students are showing the relationship between the different terms that they are working with, or you could have students create some kind of resource that they can use throughout the course, where the students go through and define all the terms, and then they have a working document. Or you can have a collection of links, and this tends to be the most popular because it allows students to, especially graduate students, to create a resource that they can then take into their professional environment. And this is one of the perks, is going to be one of the perks of using Google Sites for a wiki versus the rather limited Blackboard tool, because then Google Sites will live outside the course. Students can come back and reference it. They could share it with additional people if they wanted to, whereas the wiki tool in Blackboard would be restricted to just that course, and once students have completed the course, they wouldn't really have access to it anymore. So like I was just talking about, that's one reason to use Google Sites. Another reason to use Google Sites is that it's free, and I say that because Scholastica is a Google Apps school, and therefore with your Google email you already have access to a Google site. Students can also create their own Google sites. So this makes it easy. You don't have to then create an additional account. You don't have to sign up for something else. you already have access to this and you have can log in with your core username and password or access it through your Gmail accounts. It's also easy. There's just a few clicks to creating the site, and then you can start customizing it with as many categories and pages as you would like, and I hope to share some examples at the end. Some resources for later, and again I'm going to pull those up on the screen here. So this is a website that we'll share out with the 10-minute tips archive link. This goes through, you can see where you can use a template to create your website. So you don't have to start from scratch. You can choose a template that makes the most sense. You name the site, and then you create your first page, and then you create additional pages and share it with students, and that's it. So it's a 5-step process. And there's another website that I've linked to that again provides, this time it's a 6-step process, but still nonetheless very quick and easy. I've linked to a blog post by a Blackboard or a faculty that uses Blackboard at their school who has chosen to use Google Sites, and she goes through and explains why. And then lastly here, I wanted to share an example of a student who is using Google Sites to create a portfolio for themselves, but you could have a similar layout with a wiki. So that is my session. I think we got through it in less than 10 minutes, which is exciting. Please keep an eye out for the Academic Technologies website, an online learning website that will be going live shortly, to find out more about wikis, blogs, and pedagogical approaches using them, and also how-tos for using them.